Words cannot describe the anguish and despair that we are feeling as the parents of our beautiful daughter Madeleine.
Reports say investigators will search for traces of Madeleine McCann.
These are actually the pyjamas that Madeleine was wearing when she was taken.
Once upon a time, in the picturesque town of Praia da Luz, Portugal, a family embarked on a vacation that would forever change their lives. The McCann family, consisting of parents Kate and Jerry, along with their 3 young children, sought a peaceful respite from their busy lives. Little did they know that their idyllic holiday would soon turn into an enduring mystery.
We talk about Madeleine every day, whether it be sort of playing with her, when Madeleine comes back, what they'll give her, what they'll play with.
It was May 3rd, 2007, when the unthinkable happened. While enjoying an evening meal at a nearby restaurant, Kate and Jerry left their children, including 3-year-old Madeleine, asleep in their holiday apartment. A routine they had followed each night during their stay. However, upon their return, they were met with a chilling discovery. Madeleine was gone. Panic and confusion swept through the McCann family and soon, the entire world.
Words cannot describe the anguish and despair that we are feeling as the parents of our beautiful daughter Madeleine. We request that anyone who may have any information related to Madeleine's disappearance, no matter how trivial, contact the Portuguese police and help us get her back safely. Please, if you have Madeleine, let her come home to her mummy, daddy, brother and sister.
The search for Madeleine began, drawing the attention of law enforcement agencies, media outlets, and people across the globe. The case took on a life of its own, captivating hearts and minds, and raising countless questions. As the investigation unfolded, Portuguese authorities faced criticism for their handling of the case. Allegations of mishandled evidence and miscommunication between law enforcement agencies cast a shadow over the search for Madeleine. Despite these challenges, dedicated officers tirelessly pursued leads, hoping to uncover the truth. Speculations and theories emerged, weaving a complex web of possibilities surrounding Madeleine's disappearance. From potential abductions to accidental harm, the story took on numerous twists and turns. Each lead, no matter how promising, failed to provide the answers everyone sought. The media's intense coverage of the case fueled public interest and support. Madeleine's face was plastered across newspapers, TV screens, and billboards, ensuring her story reached every corner of the world. The McCanns, never giving up hope, used their platform to raise awareness and keep Madeleine's name alive.
The family have run a vigorous campaign to try to keep Madeleine's story in the public eye. Her aunt Philomena has travelled from home in Glasgow to London to meet MPs, some of whom wore yellow ribbons during Prime Minister's questions. While in Leicester, a special appeal fund has been launched to help support the McCann family and search for the missing girl. And the family's persistence has paid off. The story has been virtually impossible to miss for the last 2 weeks.
Years turned into a decade, and still the search for Madeleine continued. Sightings and alleged breakthroughs periodically emerged, reigniting hope in the hearts of many. But the truth, the answers everyone yearned for, remained elusive. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann not only impacted her family, but also sparked wider discussions on child safety and parental responsibility. The case prompted changes in how missing children cases are handled, leading to improved protocols and international cooperation.
I think you put yourself in the same situation of the parents of Madeleine, and you imagine, what if it happened to you, and how would you feel? And obviously, our lives would be devastated.
It's affected us greatly because we've done the same thing that they did. We thought our children were safe and have left them playing in areas unattended, in campsites where lots of parents are, and it will make me reassess what I'm doing with my children this summer.
Most mornings the first thing they ask is there any more developments? Has she been found? Basically, obviously they're desperate that she's found safe and well, as is everybody else, really.
Operation Grange is the name of an ongoing investigation by the Metropolitan Police Service in the United Kingdom into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. This operation was launched in 2011 at the request of then Prime Minister David Cameron to review and investigate the circumstances of Madeleine McCann's disappearance in Praia da Luz, Portugal, in 2007. Operation Grange's goal is to determine what happened to Madeleine and, if possible, to locate her. The operation has involved the review of all available evidence, re-interviewing witnesses, and pursuing new leads. It has also collaborated with law enforcement agencies in Portugal, where Madeleine went missing, and other countries as necessary. The operation has faced numerous challenges due to the passage of time and the complexity of the case. Despite extensive efforts, Madeleine McCann's whereabouts remain unknown.
What happened to Madeleine McCann? How many times has that haunting and enduring question been asked in the 6 years since she disappeared?
Operation Grange has received significant media attention and has kept the disappearance of Madeleine McCann in the public eye. The investigation has seen various developments and updates over the years. In January 2022, Madeleine McCann had not been located, and the case remained unsolved.
After 2 years reviewing evidence from the Portuguese, other British officers and 7 teams of private detectives, there is now fresh evidence from new witnesses, which may help explain how the 3-year-old came to vanish from her bed that night in May 2007.
For those 38 people in total from a number of European countries, and obviously the inquiries that we seek to undertake will be to understand more about what role, if any, they played in Madeleine's disappearance. What I should say, though, over the last 2 years, the review has told me is that there is no clear definitive proof that Madeleine McCann is dead. And so on that basis, I still genuinely believe that there is a possibility that she's alive.
That thought drives Operation Grange. British officers have now visited Portugal 16 times and are working through more than 30,000 documents. The 38 people they want to speak to live either in the UK, Portugal or 3 other European countries. Detectives say they've now completely ruled out Kate and Jerry McCann as suspects and the 7 friends they were.
Christian Bruckner, a German national, became a central figure in the 2020 investigation. He was already in prison in Germany for an unrelated crime when he was identified as a person of interest in the Madeleine McCann case. Bruckner had a history of criminal offenses, including sexual assault. Here are some key details about the German investigation in 2020. New information. German authorities announced that they had received new information that led them to focus on Bruckner. They believed he may have been involved in Madeleine's disappearance and appealed to the public for additional information. Suspect's background. Christian Bruckner had lived in the Algarve region of Portugal, including Praia da Luz, where Madeleine disappeared, at the time of her disappearance. He had a criminal record, which included convictions for child sexual abuse and other crimes. Searches and interviews. German authorities conducted searches of properties associated with Bruckner and interviewed potential witnesses. They also appealed to the public for any information related to Bruckner's activities in the Algarve region in 2007. Continued cooperation. The German investigation worked in coordination with British and Portuguese authorities. It was part of the broader international effort to find out what happened to Madeleine McCann. The case remains unsolved, and various leads and potential suspects have been explored over the years. The status of the investigation may have evolved since then, and Madeleine McCann had not been found. Various leads and theories have been explored, but her fate remains unknown. The camper van is an important aspect of the investigation into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, particularly in relation to the German suspect, Christian Bruckner. Here are some key details regarding the camper van and its role in the investigation. Christian Bruckner, a German national and a person of interest in the Madeleine McCann case, owned a camper van at the time of Madeleine's disappearance in 2007. The camper van played a central role in the investigation into his potential involvement. Significance of the camper van. The camper van was of interest to investigators because it was believed to have been in the Praia da Luz area in Portugal around the time of Madeleine's disappearance. It was considered a key piece of evidence that potentially linked Bruckner to the area where Madeleine went missing. A 3-day police search of a remote Portuguese reservoir has reportedly turned up a relevant clue in the 2007 disappearance of British tot Madeleine McCann. Portuguese authorities on Thursday wrapped up their search of the Algarve Reservoir, some 30 miles from the Praia da Luz resort, where the 3-year-old girl was last seen alive 16 years ago. German sex offender Christian Brueckner, 45, jailed in his homeland for an unrelated case, allegedly visited the reservoir some days after Madeleine vanished. Portuguese judiciary police were tight-lipped about the outcome of the search, which involved sniffer dogs, digging equipment, a drone, and a tree cutter, saying the effort resulted in the collection of some material that will be subject to the competent expertise. The material collected will be handed over to the German authorities. Portuguese newspaper Correio da Manhã, Morning Mail, reported that in the course of the search, cops came upon a relevant clue, but it's unknown what it was. Several items were reportedly removed from the Barragem do Array dam area, including a bra strap, pieces of fabric, and plastic items, but it's unclear if they're related to Madeleine's case. Police were reportedly searching for a gun and a camcorder that allegedly belonged to Brueckner and had been stolen and then thrown away by 2 of his former accomplices in a petty crime gang. According to a jailhouse informant, the camcorder was believed to have footage of Brueckner torturing and raping an American woman and a teenage girl. It's important to note that, as of my last knowledge update in January 2023, Christian Brueckner had not been charged in connection with Madeleine McCann's disappearance, and the case remained unsolved. The investigation, including the role of the camper van, was ongoing. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann has generated various theories and speculations over the years. It's important to note that the case remains officially unsolved, and the following are some of the theories that have been proposed, but none of them have been proven. Abduction theory. The most widely accepted theory is that Madeleine was abducted from her family's vacation apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal. Supporters of this theory believe that an unknown intruder entered the apartment and kidnapped her while her parents were dining at a nearby restaurant. Sex trafficking. Involvement of resort staff. There are theories that suggest involvement or knowledge of the crime by employees or individuals connected to the resort where the McCanns were staying. It is speculated that someone with inside information may have been involved in her disappearance. Accidental death and cover-up. Another theory suggests that Madeleine may have died accidentally in the apartment. Proponents of this theory believe that her parents or someone else may have found her dead, and a cover-up was orchestrated to avoid legal consequences. Kidnapping gone wrong. Some theories propose that an attempted kidnapping went awry, resulting in Madeleine's accidental death. In this scenario, the kidnapper may have panicked and disposed of her body. Involvement of resort staff. There are theories that suggest involvement or knowledge of the crime by employees or individuals connected to the resort where the McCanns were staying. It is speculated that someone with inside information may have been involved in her disappearance. It's essential to remember that these are just theories, and none of them have been substantiated with concrete evidence. Today, the mystery of Madeleine's disappearance remains unsolved. The haunting question of what truly happened to her lingers, leaving a void in the hearts of those who have followed her story. The McCanns, determined to find their beloved daughter, founded the Find Madeleine campaign, ensuring her name remains in the public consciousness. As we ponder the enigma of Madeleine McCann's disappearance, we are reminded of the fragility of life and the relentless pursuit of answers. Though darkness may shroud this chapter, hope persists that one day the shadows will dissipate and the truth will emerge, bringing solace and closure to all those affected by this haunting true crime tale.